try to encourage all come here. Then those cannot go to the second floor physically one, then they can come down to here and just whether see the screen or audio one, I don't know. Rather than stay at home, I think that would be better. E-learning, yeah, I mean in the university, of course, they got no choice. But the religious teaching, I prefer physically would be better. And just like in the past, e-learning, just like talking to the wall, computer like that, one-way ticket, not two-way tickets. Okay, anything want to ask? Do you have a book? Make sure you have a book. Well, this is not a Dharma talk, This is a Dharma class. I told during my first lesson, Dharma class and Dharma talk are different, So Dharma talk, just sit down there, shaking your leg, just listen, ear in, the other side out. Who care? Don't care. But Dharma class, just I go for primary school, secondary school, the kind of secular education. So we need a textbook. And I think this is a very good investment. The textbook is very good. And now, not very expensive. They give us some discount. And I think they order from Amazon, computer one. But this is a wisdom publication from America. Okay, so I think it will work for investment. You hardly see the English textbook. It's solely, of course, we don't talk about Tibetan Buddhism or Theravada Buddhism, Xiaocheng, but we don't care. That one you can read a lot, English textbook and, that kind of things. But in terms of the more comprehensive one, more general cover everything, as I told you already during my first lesson. So I think this is a very good textbook. It doesn't mean that this is a very, very good one, the best one. But this is actually very good for beginners and good for teaching. Okay? So therefore, you hardly find the English textbook, just like this one. And in fact, they cover everything. Okay? Like during the first lesson, there's a young man asked me, he asked me to recommend any English textbook, but I told him, you try to study this one first. Now, before you go to others. Because others, you can find it's Tibetan Buddhism, I can tell you. The Dalai Lama, whatever. These are all Tibetan tradition. Theravada Buddhism, I mean, they will tell you Eightfold Path, Four Noble Truths, whatever, but, very scattered. Unlike this one, the textbook is very comprehensive, very systematic, and very organized, let me tell you. So, if you committed and you really put in your effort at time, I believe at the end of the day, I think you will gain some benefit out of it, for sure. I cannot tell you because I'm a monk, I tell you. Okay? Because not say my expert, my interest is more on education. So I focus on Dharma education, and in the past 20 years, this is my experience. I told you, in Singapore, you can't find one. I tell you one thing. You want the English Dharma talk class, unless you go to Theravada Buddhism or Tibetan Buddhism. Mahayana Chinese one, because monk nuns hardly speak English. Okay? And, wow, so we should treasure it. Anything want to ask? Okay, Aurelia. Okay, so let me see what time now. Okay, 10:01. So shall we, as normal, if you are first time, those second time, they will know. We stand up and pay the respect to the Buddha. Okay, please stand up and hold your palms. Okay, 3 bows to the Buddha. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. Okay, please take a seat. Okay, as normal, if you are first time, probably you don't know. Now, we try to chant the Bodhisattva name for around 10 minutes. Just like meditation, you can close your eye, then you just follow me. And then before we start the class, okay, so please, you can hold your palm. And shall we start now? 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世 音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观 观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。Okay, please follow me. Recite the Buddha name 3 times. Namo本师释迦牟尼佛。Namo本师释迦牟尼佛。Namo本师释迦牟尼佛。Okay. All right. Good morning, all brothers and sisters. Now, this is our second lesson. Now, before we kick off the lesson, first of all, let me thank the organizer and all those volunteers, right, to make this possible for this second lesson due to Qing festival at this Buddhist lodge. So, we are not really affected by the festival, rather than we shift to here, but slightly lesser people, okay? So, we hope for the next lesson, we go back to the 7th floor again, and that we can accumulate around 100 students. And that also depends on the organizer, whether the rest of the students, if a late registration, probably they come down to here, or e-learning, I don't know, right? Because due to this pandemic, not like last time, anytime you can suka come here, then you don't come here. But now even want to come here, must register, and they must put on the mask and so on and so forth. Now, second things I like to highlight to you, anyway, probably you do know my teaching style, and even teaching in my college. I'm not like those monks. I'm very lively one, and usually I try to relate the Dharma into our daily life and make sure we fully understood the Dharma and how are we going to apply in our daily life, in order to generate wisdom. And Buddhism not like just like you, in the past people thought that, just go to the temple and worship to the Buddha, and that would be similarly just like worship to the God, in the church or in the Taoist temple. But unlike in Buddhism, of course, we talk about worship to the Buddha and respect to the Buddha, just like that's how we chant the Guanyin Pusa name. No? But rather than that, our main focus is on cultivation, how to generate wisdom. With the wisdom, we will be able, right, to counteract our problems and how to eradicate our mental defilement or affliction, now. So this is our main focus. So therefore, sometimes when I'm teaching the text, I'm not just follow blindly, but I just try to relate to our daily life. And sometimes when we touch on a certain issue, whether we have political issue or whatever, then I will touch on politics a little bit. But I'm not a political monk. Okay? So according to the feedback, organizer told me, we welcome the feedback, whether negative or positive feedback. I'm very open-minded. I can accept it. If it's good feedback, I am putting more effort. If it's a negative feedback, I must try to retrospect and think about myself how to improve it and make it more interesting, and I can benefit everybody. Okay? So only, I think, out of more than 100 students, few of them, I think 2 or 3 organizers, they want me to aware of talking about politics. But I'm not for the sake of politics and talking politics, but rather than because of Dharma, for the sake of the Dharma, so then sometimes I thought a little bit of politics. So as you know, Buddhism is very wide, very broad, the aspect. Not just, that's why I told you, Buddhism, not just a religion. It's a literature, it's a history, it's a philosophy, it's a psychology, right? It's a science, if you want to call it. But definitely at the end of the day, at the bottom, Buddhism is a religion. But it's a religion of religion, I told you before. All right? So I just want to make it clear to myself. And if I touch on sensitive issues, please let me know. I try to aware of myself and try to cut down, not to talk too much about politics. Okay, please refer your textbook, page number 6. I just have a quick one to recap what I've taught you all during the first lesson. Now, so, this first chapter basically is just like taking refuge in the triple gems, or we call it 3 treasures. I told you before, right? I forgot to tell you, next lesson will be 18th of April. And move on to the next slide. We later on talk about Brahma. Now, in Chinese called Sanbao, if you want to know Chinese. Okay, as I told you, the Buddhism, if you want to free one, you go to internet to search those technical terms, and otherwise you're going to get your physically going to buy the hard copy one. And in Buddhism, you want to learn Dharma, the dictionary is very important. It's just a tools, it's a tools. So we need dictionary to find out those Buddhist terminology. Otherwise, you're stuck there and cannot move forward. Okay? So my advice to you, try to get a dictionary, or you go to the internet and to search the terms, whatever. Okay, whether you call it triple gems or 3 treasures, if you're, of course, you're English educated. Now, so you may find the textbook everywhere, all right? Some they use triple gems, some they use 3 treasures. But Chinese only 2 characters, very straightforward. So we call Sanbao, right? As you know, encompasses, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. We call it Sanbao, right? Okay, we'll touch on it. Praise to this so-called like triple gems. We'll go one by one. Today we'll cover this one later on. All right? To just like praise to the God. When I was studying in England, I went to church. They say praise to God, Lord of God, something like that. We praise to the Buddha. We praise to the triple gems. So Buddhism is different from other religion, right? I'm not commenting other religion, but rather than just to let you know, because we praise to the triple gems. Not only just Buddha. Right? We need his teaching. We need a people propagator, people like me, or even lay people, Sangha. This is a Sanskrit term. As you know, Buddhism originated from India, right? So if you nowadays you go to India for pilgrim trips, nowadays because of pandemic you cannot travel. Now, if you next time got chance to travel to India, and you may find that those road name or whatever, they still written in Sanskrit, we call it Devanagari. I showed you before, right? Just like this one, Devanagari. So all these are in Sanskrit, Sanskrit. And this is the most difficult language to learn, for what I know. I know Japanese. I learned 1 year. Japanese, aiueo, kakiku, keiko, right? Japanese is very difficult. 五段动词 and grammar very complicated. But the most complicated one is Sanskrit. We know Sanskrit, Tibetan, Pali, right? This is in Buddhism. Pali. Pali, Buddha, Sarang, Kachami, Dharma, Sarang, Kachami, Sangha, Dharam, Kachami. Taking refuge to the Buddha, to the Sangha, to the Dharma, to the Sangha, right? So this Pali, and the other one called Tibetan. Among these 3 languages, this is the most difficult one. Most difficult to learn, easy to forget. You know why? Because most difficult to learn, if you don't work hard, study hard, here in, the other side out. Definitely. Just like mathematics, if you know the equation, but you don't solve the tutorial very often, you become very rusty. Then you forgot, right? Okay? Now, so last lesson we talked about until page 6. And before we go to the triple gems, of course, according to the author, Master Yin Sun, right? They're seeking refuge everywhere. It's just like go everywhere. You don't know where to go. Singapore, although very small, you don't know so many temples, you don't know where to go and where to learn Buddhism, right? Of course, you can go any Buddhist temple to worship to the Buddha, but you want to learn Buddhism in terms of theory, Dharma, and it's not easy. And you don't know where to go and which place is the best one. It's just like choose your couple. This girl or that girl, both are very pretty, but which is a better one? Or these 2 guys are very handsome. Which one is the better one? So you'll be married to him, to her. You know what I mean? So therefore, as you can see, you go back to page 4, you see the verse number 1, they're talking about, in the mundane world, all those things happen in the phenomena. And although we may find some enjoying our daily life and in the mundane life, but rather than this are very insecure. Why? Because Buddhism talks about impermanent, 无常. Impermanence causes suffering. Anything can happen. Right? Just like recently, you see, I read the news. Yesterday came out the news, Taiwan, Hualien train crash. Also Qing, they have a super long. But you don't know, next moment you travel a train, then they crash. And accidentally the truck, the construction truck, and fell out. Safety measure, don't know yet. They are under investigation. You see, so anything can happen. You don't know what's going to happen. And this is why in Buddhism talk about impermanence causes suffering. It's just like this virus. All right, you don't know when it will disappear or whatever. All right, nobody can tell. Okay, so that's why in Buddhism impermanence causes suffering because you cannot control. You cannot say fix it. I want it to every day like that. Every day happy, happy, happy. Sometimes it's beyond our control. Okay, so when you see the page 4, this verse. It is a sea, and this is how we suffer. And you see the verse number 2, they use a 6th condition to tell us that, even those things in the phenomena in this defiled world also unsecure. Also unsecure. Even your wealth, possessed by 5 groups. Can you remember page number 6? The first 2 lines there. The wealth, possessed by 5 groups, if you due to fire, due to bad ruler, this is something to do with politics already. Then your wealth is unsecure. Right? Wealth, 财富, rich, just a money you put into the bank. If the country is not stable, then who go to invest? And the bank also very unstable. Then your money will go to the drain already. Right now? You say, money put in your house, not secure. Why? Fire, get flooded, your money all gone. You put in the bank, safer. But bank also depend on the society, depend on the country, Alright, so the country stable, society stability, and that consider is a very important factor. Right? People will come here to invest. Okay. Now, so last week around we saw here. Now we see on the second paragraph, number 2. This is number 1, talking about the wealth, right? Accumulation of the wealth and riches. Okay. Now, number 2, fame and high status. Fame and high status. Alright, just like if you study in the secular, whether you're primary school, I think it should be in the secondary school, then you see this sine-wave curve. I still can recall what I learned the mathematics, sine, cosine, tangent, right? So this is sine. You just can't remember this 20, 30, 40 years back. Then cosine is like that, right? Tangent, I've forgotten. Right? Even know the integration. 1, 2, x. You know what? Right? Then differentiation, dy, dx. Correct now? I still can remember. Now, so just like this one, up and down, 0, positive, negative. Sound good? When you reach the high, one day will come down. It's just like whether you are prime minister, you are president, you are minister or whatever, justice or whatever. When you retire, no more already. Definitely you have to retire to come down. Then you come down. When you come down, you got no authority, you got no money. Nobody will listen to you. Who care you? Because you got no authority already. But now you're minister, you're prime minister, I listen to you, no? Because you got authority, you can control. Correct now? So you must prepare one day you will come down one. And some people cannot take it. Then now you are young, you say, 20, 30 years old, wow, very energetic, no? Wow, bright future, I have a very good prospect in my career and so on and so forth. But one day you are getting old, no? Once you're getting old, some people cannot accept it. I'm old already, are you sure? I look at the mirror, oh yeah, no spring force already. Must go for more facial, something like that. So some people cannot, once you cannot accept it, and this is called suffering. But if you can accept it, just like now pandemic, if you can adopt to this kind of life, you will accept it, you just take it, what to do? Put on mask, right? 1 meter distancing, more hygiene a little bit. Talk about hygiene, nobody can hygiene. I tell you, you go to hawker center, it's so dirty, and mask wear already just throw. Yesterday I saw one, I was at one place, I saw the floor there, the mask, used mask already used already. Just throw like that, oh my goodness. So please, you don't anyhow throw, no. If you throw, you say, yeah, I learned from a Buddhist Lord who teach you, you say, very chanting, then gone already. Right, 丢脸. Okay? So hygiene, but nobody care one, something like that. So here it talk about fame and status. He said people love this blindly. So when they are in the power and things are going smoothly, they feel that they can control everything. Just as I told you, they can control everything. If you got no status, no fame and status, who care you? Right? Just a small fry, who care you? That's why similarly in Buddhism, some people can tell you, say, I was in Buddhism for 20 years, 30 years. I was in Buddhist lodge for 20 years, 30 years. Last time when I was young, I came here. And I waited at the bus stop there after chanting. And those Auntie Amma, then Auntie Amma already, grandmother already. The one is 70, 80 years old, still very healthy, really Buddha blessing, and can take bus, everything, and Mabu Zhang, very stable, when bus is moving, And the moment they chit-chat at the bus stop, they told each other, they say, how long are you at the Buddhist store? How long are you in the Buddhism? They say, 30 years. I said, oh my goodness, I'm still very young, only 1 year only. But the moment they take the bus, they on board, I tell you, they scold vulgar, whatever, they correct each other, 30 years, They kind of image portrayed to people. All right? So, even you say you're senior, Buddhism is not based on senior or whatever, It's based on whether you have a sincerity, you have the heart to learn Buddhism, Even despite the fact that it's just 1 year, that one is 30 years, but so what? 1 year, I learned a lot of things. I really learned the true Dharma, But your 30 years, you're wasting your time, Eat, sleep. They come here, eat the vegetable, And from behind, come out, That's all. And this is what they call Buddhism. They call Buddhist, right? They based on this criteria, and they call you a senior Buddhist, But in Buddhism, it's not going to consider like that. Okay? Now, can you refer to a textbook? So the high must fall, definitely. It's just I learned the physics. I throw something, when it hit the end, the ball, tennis ball, when it hit to the wall, the thing will bounce back. Reach the peak already, the thing will come down. And this is true. Not only Buddhism talking about Buddhism. So high and fall. And this is a fact and this thing happened in the world. All right? Okay, after a few more lines. So in Buddhist bibliography literature, so there's a king, or they say this one, they control it. This one really by yourself. Also talking about, when you have a kind of status, then one day you'll come down, no more already. Someday. So I leave it to yourself. This one read up by yourself. Of course, there are some Sanskrit name, or you try to look from the dictionary. Okay, see this paragraph, the last line. It's a high position. It's temporary and undependable. All right? Even you are high status, you have a fame and status, but this is not reliable, not dependable, 不能依靠的. Right? It's not going to last forever. It's impermanent, not permanent. Not permanent. You just imagine yourself, this morning, now and later on, your thinking, everything is different, no? Every second, every minute, every hour, your thinking are different. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Whether yesterday, today, and tomorrow, you don't know. That's why people say married life, it's very challenging. You cannot guarantee one. I'm a solemnizer one couple, and after married 1 year, and they came to me and said, Venerable, how come we solemnize in the temple and in the main hall, then how come you still quarrel after married? I said, no guarantee, even durian mao someone also no guarantee one, He said, in front of the Buddha, they swear to each other, but so what? Right? Quarrel is very normal. Small quarrel is okay, Just like immune system, sometimes sick is okay. If you do fall sick, next moment you sick, then you disappear already. Mati. So say small quarrel is okay, nothing wrong. But big quarrel got problem. Right? So you don't know. Now we say very good. Next time, in future, you don't know what will happen. So here they say high position is temporary and undependable. So we are reaching high, we should appreciate it. We should treasure it. And we know what's going to happen. One day we'll come down. So if you have wisdom, your thinking is different from others. Right? Different from ordinary people. And that's a good thing as a Buddhist. And if you know the Dharma, have a wisdom. Okay? Now move on to number 3, next paragraph. The togetherness of beloved family, even your loved one. So what? One day they will leave you alone. It just like happened in Hualien, Taiwan, the train accident. Right? The whole family, I think before that 18 people passed away, before this incident happened. The girl called Dong Xiaojie, yesterday I saw the YouTube. The previous incident, the 18 people killed, and the whole family killed in the accident. Left only she's alone. The husband, children all died. And she said until she want to cry. Okay? And togetherness, your loved one, your beloved one, your husband, your wife, your children, so close to each other one, and one day, who knows, disappear. Will leave you alone. So poor thing. And don't talk about incident. We talk about birth and death, right? Even until old age, then sickness and death, when we die. You leave your wife or your husband alone or whatever, because you cannot die together one. You say, no, you want to live together, 生在一起, die together, because you swear in the ceremony already. Okay. Even both are you suicide. Jump down from HDB flat, whatever. They said from 50th floor. You learn physics, right? You know gravity? If you are too fat, you'll be landed first, You will die first, You know gravity? If you are too fat, so heavy, But if you are so skinny, when you jump, the thing, they're just like floating, So they will few seconds, they will touch down, So can you say die together? No. Very difficult. Sometimes I try to joke with the student. You know what I mean? Just like you study physics, right? Gravity, right? It's the same thing. Okay, we refer to a textbook. So it said the togetherness of beloved family, parents and children, as I told you just now, and husband and wife are full of domestic warmth. Definitely. Wow, love family, 很温馨, very happy family, Every day you can see your wife, can see your children. Afterward, you come back home. People say home sweet home. No matter how you suffer outside in your office for the whole day, but when you go home, you feel that very warm. Home sweet home. Right? This is your house, your home. Right? Something like that. So deep friendship can be established. Okay? At school between teachers and children, or among the classmates, and in society among, co-workers. So when people share similar, aspiration and help one another. So human beings are social animals. That's why today newspaper came out. After 1 year pandemic, they do a survey. Do you read the newspaper today? Oh, wow, you're so on the ball. Rush all the way here. Okay, anyway, I read the newspaper. They did a survey in the past 1 year, because already 1 year anniversary, this pandemic. You see, most of the Singaporeans felt that Putting mask, besides putting mask, this is compulsory one. The miss a lot is gathering. You know, just like here, it's a social animal. We went to gathering. Nobody want to live alone. Just Buddhism talk about lonely hell. Lonely hell. Go to tea, just like you're satu orang, one person. This is what they miss the most on gathering. And the other one is what? Traveling. A lot of people like to travel. Singapore are so small, just a small island. Why not? You see, when you come to a holiday, people travel to Bangkok, travel to Hong Kong, all right? Travel to now Hong Kong banned SIA for 2 weeks. Newspaper came out. Right? You say, don't eat, it's okay, though. Don't travel, they will die, And people breach the rule, right? Convert the HDB flat, the housing, whatever, to the karaoke, whatever. Newspaper also came out. You see, a lot of Buddhists got the wrong concept. They thought that cultivate the Dharma must be very serious. It must be separated to daily life. Because all these will seduce us, right? The temptation, all these are outside of temptation. It's correct, it's temptation. But according to Bodhisattva spirit, how are you going to benefit all sentient beings? If you're going to separate from us, how do you know you're going to have problems? Initially, of course, you have to have an initial training. But at the end of the day, you should expose to the public and help them. Of course, you have to help yourself first. And this is called Bodhisattva spirit. Not try to, stay away, scared this, scared that. Then this is not the Bodhisattva spirit. So try to get this concept right. Okay? So newspapers, they say, don't need the newspaper, all these are temptation, Then you don't know what happened in the world. Because as I told you, Dharma is not separated from the daily life, from the world, even as a Sangha, whether monk or nuns. Okay? Just like if I don't know computer, I don't learn computer because this is a temptation. Right? So if I don't learn the computer, how am I going to operate the computer? If I say I don't want to learn the slide PowerPoint, then how am I going to use the PowerPoint to teach? Okay? Okay, please follow the textbook. Now, you say if family can live together and good friends work cooperatively, so this is the most ideal, definitely and comforting. Nevertheless, loved ones become enemy. Okay? And no matter how close people become, eventually they will be separated. And this is the truth. We have to face it. Whether your wife, your husband, your children. You see, when we come alone, Correct or not? We come alone, When we die alone, Although we talk about husband and wife, children, whatever, but we have to live alone, Okay? So we have to prepare for that. Now, if you know the Dharma, we won't feel lonely. Even die, this is only this life only. But the next life, you have to reborn again. That solely depends on the karma. Right? You talk about 6 cycle, whether you reborn the 3 evil destiny, hungry ghost, animal, asura, or the other human or heaven. That solely depends on the karma. You know karma, right? I told you before. That's why in Sanskrit, Buddhism, a lot of Sanskrit word, karma. During the first lesson, I told you already. K-A-R-M-A. Chinese called E-A-D, ye. In English, called action. Right? Action. Okay? So, our own action, you bear our own self-responsibility. Just like study, you have to study yourself. Nobody going to study for you. You eat, you have to eat yourself. I cannot eat on behalf of you. All right? You cultivate the Dharma, you have to cultivate yourself. I cannot cultivate for you. So Buddha is just a teacher. He merely showed the path. He merely showed the way, We are the one have to walk through this path. Right? And this text will go the way to Buddhahood. He's a spiritual guider, just like I'm just guide you. But you have to learn it by yourself. Right? You have to practice by yourself. So Dharma, we have to practice in our daily life, not just a theory. I mean, not just a theory, but as well as practical. So both are in parallel. Okay? Okay, can you refer to the text on page number 7? Now, move on to the next one. I just highlight those important ones. The rest you read up by yourself. If you got any problem, next lesson you can ask me. You can write a piece of paper, put on the table here, no problem. Now, the 4th one, life itself. Okay? So experience tell us that those who are born must die, as I told you already. You see, the moment you're born in this world, it shows that one day you will die. Right? Whether you talk about longevity, You can live until 100 years, 120 years, just a learn rate, those people talk about longevity. In this world, praise are for those are longevity one. In China, I've forgotten the place, near Yunnan, the southern part one. And the other country is where, do you know which country? The other country, long life one. Japan. So look at Japanese people, you see those old people still very strong, very healthy. 90, 100 years old, they walk like bola sa one, still very alert. Not like Singaporean 60 already. You see, a lot of different way. So in Buddhism, not just practice meditation, then to keep yourself healthy. My experience tell you, meditation, next time we talk about meditation, is very good for blood circulation and to train your mindfulness. That's for sure. Right? Just like practice yoga, right? Yoga is nothing to do with religion, but just like, you put a mat there, then you do exercise, whatever, to keep yourself fit, right? Because when you exercise, physically, your bone, everything are moving. But meditation, because you are sitting there, whether half an hour, 1 hour, it's blood circulation, but your bone, everything is not moving, Let me tell you, So besides meditation, if you really want to keep yourself really, really fit, then you need exercise as well. Like me, I do exercise also. Push up, chin up, or whatever, stretching exercise. Or you just jogging in your house, within your room or whatever. Besides meditation. And food consumption is also very important. Don't anyhow eat. Then you don't need to, beg for Buddha to bless you. This one you can bless yourself already. You don't need to jump Amitabha, also no problem. Because this one can do it by ourselves. Because we can control ourselves, do exercise. But those cannot control one, those spiritual thing or whatever, then you say, okay, we hope the Buddha bless us or whatever. Now, Qing festival. Just as I told you during the first lesson, you transfer the memory to your deceased one. Those people pass away one. And even attending the Dharma class, and this is a very good merit to transfer whatever you learn the Dharma, because Dharma more important, right? To them, even you say chanting also want them to know the Dharma, so that, they will resolve the bodhicitta or whatever, then from there they will go beyond from the sixth cycle and go to the pure land, whatever, and they continue to cultivate the Dharma. And this is what they want. And this is what we are doing for. For them. That's what we can do for them, right? Chanting through chanting, Qing 不是 chanting 吗? Worship to the ancestor, that means you want to transfer memory for them. So it's the same thing. Okay, back to the textbook. So the reality of death is a definite fact, but people think of themselves as if they were immortal. Immortal? Won't die one. Can live forever. Taoism talk about this one, those Taoists, sin and whatever. But in Buddhism, how can live forever? One day we born in this world, then sooner or later, at the end of the day, everybody will die. 有生必有死, and this is true. This is the truth. Regardless, you have a high fame and status. Regardless whether you are very rich or whatever, but at the end of the day, everybody will die. Right now, regardless whether you're a prime minister, you're a president, you're a billionaire or whatever. So, if you're a billionaire, you're driving BMW, you're driving Mercedes, you stay in the bungalow, you stay in the penthouse in Sentosa. Wow, I don't know. Sentosa very expensive one. And you still have to eat. You still have to go to the toilet. It's just like you have a very good materialistic life, right? But at the end of the day, you will fall sick. Everybody will fall sick. And that cannot be avoided. Okay? And this is true. Okay? Okay, next two lines. Now I say, even though they may talk about death, but they do not wake up to the reality of it. So when dealing with other people, and worry matters. Okay? So a man, they quote, a man lives less than a century, yet he has a worry of 1,000 years. This is a very popular, verse, right? So this proverb illustrates people's distorted feeling of immortality. Their devout belief in long, okay, and of eternal life. So where got eternal life? That's why I say impermanent cause suffering. And of course, talk about lifespan in the human world. And if you compare with animal, And then you compare with the divine beings, those God in the heaven. Definitely because due to the kind of good fortune, they are in the heaven, the life span is longer than us. Then if we compare with animal, we are longer than animal. I give you an example. For instance, you talk about dog, dog. In average, the life of the dog, how many years? 20, 25? Well, more than 30 years on. Definitely, that's for sure. 不会超过30年的 dog's life, right? But human being, of course, you might to argue. Some people born the next moment die. But in average, you talk about in Singapore, those Singaporeans, nowadays they just survey came out. In Singapore, average age, now it's 83.5. Last time 82 point something. Slightly getting longer a little bit. Okay, make it integer, 80 years in Singapore. You compare the one 20 years, 30 years, we are longer. You compare with cat, we are longer. Right? But if you compare with divine being, 天人天公or whatever, those kind of spiritual God, they are longer than us. Right? So, in Buddhism, we talk about human beings. It's a very good position to cultivate the Dharma. We are not very long, also not very short. And we will appreciate, our value of life, right? Whether we are suffering, sometimes we may enjoy our life. So that we are looking forward, we want to cultivate, and we're aiming for our bright future, better future. That's what we want. That's our hope. I believe so. So, they say, eternal life. So this is unlikely. That's impossible. Okay, next paragraph, the fifth one. The prosperity of one's country. The prosperity of one's country is also not just depend on one factor. There depends on few factors to make this country very prosperous. Right? Whether your economy grow very good or whatever, just like in Singapore, you talk about economy grow, will depend on external factors, not only internal factors. Right? Will depend on the global economic recession or whatever. Too exciting already. So, I'm joking. So, you know why not? So, therefore, you see, whether you like it or don't like it, now China is a big market. So, America go down already, for instance. All right? So, we have to depend on external factor. So, Buddhism talk about, when we must be more considerate people good, then we will good. And in Buddhism talk about dependent origination. All things are dependent on causes and conditions. We cannot just leave it alone. We can live alone because we depend on others. Just like I depend on you all to come here to study so that we can conduct the class. You also depend on me to come here. So if you can come every 2 weeks smoothly and to finish the whole textbook, then congratulations. So basically you can, try to avoid those obstacles. But you don't take things for granted. Say, why? I'm looking forward for the next 2 weeks, the lesson come. And you take things for granted. Who knows? Anything can happen. Will happen to you, happen to me. So if it can happen that we can finish the whole textbook, to study the whole textbook, let me tell you, and this is a merit, and this is a good fortune we have. And this shows that at least we are lesser obstacle. Or even with the obstacle, we will be able to overcome it. So we don't just take things for granted. It's like that, very natural. I come, what happen, MRT breakdown or bus breakdown or your stomach ache or whatever, and you cannot come. Who knows? Okay, so a lot of people like to take things for granted. Okay, please can refer to the text. So for most people, their country is like a security guard, and the strength and the prosperity of their country is closely related to the comfort and freedom of its people. So if a country is strong, people think they have made, but the prosperity of one's country does not guarantee security for oneself or one's family. As I said already, you have to depend on internal, external factor. All right? If a globally recession, economic, Singapore will be affected. Why not? So now we have to depend on 2 giant countries. They don't fight each other. And that they're already fighting each other. America and China. Right? I'm not talking politics. So this is just to tell you that, it cannot just depend on one factor. We are related to each other. Yeah. So people good, then you'll be good. And people get into trouble, even you are more trouble. Something like that. Okay, so political parties. This one talk politics. No, I'm talking politics. So here the text of political parties. Rise and fall are not always faithful to the country. And the country itself fluctuates between well-governed order and chaos. So factual examples can be found everywhere. So depending solely on one's country, all right, it's thus neither sensible nor safe. As you know, how people run the country depend on the ruling party. And ruling party won't forever they rule the country, just as Singapore. Of course, Singapore now is baby. So other countries that keep on changing. In Japan also, some even 1 year they need to change the party. So you keep on changing the party also cause a very unstable, in the country. Actually, it's no good, not stable, right? Taiwan, America is 4 years, 1 term president. But America not too bad because the system is there. No matter who become president or you become president, American 47, 48 president, But the system is there, everybody had to follow. So the system very, very important, And Buddhism, lack of system. Everybody want to become king and queen. Everybody build your own temple. Not cooperative, not like Christianity. Christianity, they are very cooperative. So I'm not talking politics, I'm just telling you, Buddhism is very good in Dharma. We cultivate, you can reach the so-called, according to is slightly higher level. But the way we do it, in terms of teamwork, not enough. We are not cooperative. Okay? Next time you'll know what I'm talking. Okay, so back to the textbook. Okay? So depends solely. So it's neither sensible nor safe. Okay, another paragraph, number 6, next one. The progress of society. You will talk about progress of the society. So some people think that since human beings are social animal and civilization progresses, so this must be the true meaning of life. So why bother to seek an empty refuge for oneself alone? But having said that, if anything external factor are unstable, will cause this progress of society got problems. You cannot move forward. There's no progress. As I told you, all things are depend on each other. We are related to each other. We cannot just live alone one. Okay, we cannot live alone one. Just like country depend on countries. Human being depend on other people as well. Okay? As I told you, the teacher depend on students, student depend on teachers. It's a two-way one. Okay? Now, so this basically, they're trying to tell. Can you see this paragraph come from the bottom, the third line from the bottom, page number 7. So those who cannot awaken enthusiasm to seek refuge are misled by this attachment, to ephemeral. Okay? The ephemeral means short times only, 短暂的, the only short period, short time, circumstances, or have illusion about worldly pleasures. Okay, get to the next page, page number 8. Okay, so now move on to the other subtopic here. It says seeking refuge, things beyond this world. So now we're talking about the God, talking about spiritual things already. Okay, because these world are unsafe. It's not permanent. We cannot seek refuge. We cannot depend on Him, depend on this world. Okay, since we cannot depend on this world, then how about those beyond this world? How about heaven? How about those spiritual God? Right? Before talking, at the end, go to triple gems. These are more secure, right? More safer. Okay, can you see this one? Verse number 3. Shall we read together? 1, 2, 3. Louder, clearer. Not loud enough and not clear, not loud and clear enough. Okay, can you see the slide here? Brahma. Like this Brahma is a Sanskrit term, Fan Tian in Chinese called Fan Tian. Okay, Brahma is generally represented in Buddhist culture as a god, Brahman god, the only god, just like Jesus, the only god. Talking about the gods, they got the high class and low class god. High class, and I say high class, only one god. It means Jesus, Allah, Muslim, one. And those so many God ones refer to Taoism. Taoism, tree, wind, rain, everything. House also have, even door also got God. You cannot keep the door, no? Yeah? 门神啊, So you worship to so many gods. And these are low class one, 比较低级的. And this is a high class one. Also with 4 faces, just like you go to Thailand, 4 faces Buddha, 四面佛, right? But this is not forward, no? 四面佛, 4 faces Buddha, it's not Buddha. Let me clarify. Don't say, Buddha. You cannot say, Mushta, then is your father. You cannot say that one. So, 四面佛, 4 faces Buddha, is not a Buddha, it's a Taoist, it's a God. 神来的. You see, if you go to Thailand, everywhere, every corner. Okay, and 4 arms and variants of him are found in the Mahayana Buddhist culture. Okay, this is called Brahma. Okay, so shall we go to your textbook again? Now, he said, God and spirit delight in violence, murder. So the desirous divine beings are addicted to various craving. The Brahma deals on arrogant. None of them are of a place of refuge. They will tell you this is the answer. Now they are a place of refuge. Can you refer to your textbook, the content, the first paragraph? It says, even if one knows the need of seeking refuge, one may be misled by heterodox, heterodox, non-Buddhist school, 外道, we can say 外道, non-Buddhist, heterodox. Heterodox can be, beside Buddhism and religion, but you talk about cult, cult, C-U-L-T. Cult, 邪教, Chinese 邪教. And this cult is very popular in America, United States, even in South Korea. There's so many kind of organizations that are cult, In Singapore, government very strict, so probably not many. But in America, a lot. Cult, we call it cult, 邪教, And this is the worst part because they brainwash you. And you have a negative thought, from our perspective. And you will go into trouble, go into the wrong path. So this is the most dangerous one. If you say, I don't want to believe in any religion, that's fair. At least you're neutral. I don't believe. You're better than those people believe in cult. That one is the worst one. The worst one. Okay, 邪教. Now, so one may be misled by these heterodox religions or deviant school, 邪教. 2 more lines. So most are not true places of refuge, categorized according to their flaw, because they are considered imperfect. So these fall into 3 groups. 3 groups. Okay, the first one, next paragraph. The first false refuge is a ghost and spirit. 鬼神, ghost. So people say, is really a ghost in this world? Let me tell you. Do you know the term called human ghost? 人鬼啊. That one is the most horrible one because you sometimes cannot prevent one. Just like you and me, but people behind you sabotage you, harm you. And this is called human ghost already. But the place got ghost, then you will prevent, right? You're scared. When you walk through that one, you better watch out. But human ghost, you don't know one. They hide behind you, then they harm you. They have 人鬼, human ghost. And these human ghosts a lot happen in your working environment or outside world, your friends or whatever, right? There's some people not to help you, but they try to harm you, to sabotage you. Right? So, so you say deities, according to the Chinese, they are heavenly God, early deities, and human ghosts. They say human ghosts. So the Chinese also believe that after people die, they can become heavenly gods if they haven't, have enough merit. 人死变神 in Chinese. You have enough merit. When we die, we go to the heaven. Just like in Christianity, you believe in God, you go to the heaven. 得永生, you believe in God, you go to the heaven. So this is what they believe. Okay, so according to Chinese Taoism, whatever, you say, your amma, your grandmother, 你要做好事嘛，你死要做行 in Hokkien, So when you die, you will go to the heaven. That means go to the better place. But according to reason, heaven also not enough. Why? Also unsecure. Because when your marriage no more, you descend. Depend on the karma, then back to this world, not too bad, Then back to reborn as an animal or go to the hell, that even worse. Alright? So this is different from Buddhism. Now, so here say, heavenly gods, or they have enough merit. Okay, next paragraph. So in Buddhist sutra, sutra, like this is a Sanskrit term, that means Buddhist scriptures, Qing, Chinese called Qing, sutra. Ghosts are called hungry ghosts, 恶鬼, Hokkien called 妖鬼, So those hungry ghosts they live in the hell, for instance. Now, you worship to the ancestor, doesn't mean that they are all in the hell. If your ancestor have a good deeds, have enough merits, doesn't mean that they were in the hell. They are probably in the heaven. But of course, you don't know sometimes. So I don't care. During the Qing, so you just do something and transfer merit to them. Whether they are in the heaven, also no harm. All right. But having said that, if you've done a lot of bad deeds, not enough merit, for instance, even if they're in the hell, even if you burn the incense paper, this is what Chinese believe, incense paper, they also cannot receive it. They're supposed to suffer in the hell. Then how can you give them $1 million? Then they can enjoy their life. So this is not logical, don't have a logic, right? Something like that. Okay, so according to here, it said by the gods of the four heavens include Yaksa, Rasasa, Naga called dragon. So you see the bracket, they're written in English. I tell you, but all these are in Sanskrit terms. So there are also demons like, dragon and big snake, ghost spirit, and angels with the wings are described in Christianity. So all these ghosts and spirit do have some merits and magical powers, right? And of course, we talk about 8 groups, 天龙八部, dragon and heaven. So these are the 8 groups whereby we consider as Dharma Protectors. All right? In English, we call Dharma Protectors. 护法神, it's just like bodyguard, So Dharma Protectors will protect Buddhism and even for the Buddhists. For instance, according to Buddhism, when you take the refuge in the Triple Gem, 皈依三宝, just like you baptize as a Christian, according to Buddhism, according to Sutra, there are 36 Dharma Protectors will protect you. 36. But of course, you don't, every time depend on them, right? Sometimes they are on sabbatical leave. So you have to protect yourself, right? So if you follow the Buddha's teaching and you perform good deeds, so definitely you protect yourself already. Of course, those things we cannot be seen through our naked eye. Okay, can you see this paragraph? The count from the bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th line on the right hand side. It says ghosts and spirit are full of affliction, 烦恼, affliction. Right? However, sometimes their characters are not as good as those human. So you don't just worship to the God of those spiritual beings. Sometimes they got hatred. They have a temple. This thing. If you don't believe, do you know those people 跳档 medium? 跳档. I like to see those 跳档 Chinese like monkey god or whatever. You see those 跳档 or 黑白无常 those in the hell one, black and white one, 一剑发财 or whatever, those in the hell one. I tell you, some they, 他吃大麻 the kind of drugs, and sometimes they show their anger one, And this proof that it's true indicated in our sutra. So they got the arrogant, they are very arrogant, they sometimes got hot temper, they have a hatred, everything. So sometimes as worse as human being. So therefore, according to Buddhism, as a Buddhist, we should take refuge in the Triple Gems. We learn the Buddha teaching, we follow the Buddha teaching, right? And Buddha will bless us by Triple Gems. So actually, we don't need to worship to those kind of gods. Even they have to worship to the Buddha as well. Pay the respect to the Buddha. Okay? So this is according to the text here. It says some even worse than human, particularly because their angry nature delight in violence, murder. Okay? So what they want from human are sacrifices, blood and flesh. At times they even want human sacrifices. So just like those cow, whatever. Right? So these are very unreasonable. But in Buddhism, Buddha won't want you to sacrifice to kill yourself just for his own interest. No. But cult, they will do so, Ask you to kill yourself, you flee from this world, you flee from suffering, So they get yourself poisoned, become negative thought. That's why they say cult. And the proper religion, don't ask you to sacrifice yourself. Anyhow sacrifice yourself to end your life. No. In Buddhism, if you anyhow sacrifice, you end your life. And this consider suicide. Consider killing, killing 5 precepts. And killing the most serious is kill human beings, not killing the mosquito animal. Okay, human beings are more important. Why? Because human beings can cultivate Dharma. You go and kill him or kill her, and this become very serious. Clear? Okay, page number 9. The rest you read up by yourself. Due to time constraint, we move faster a little bit. Okay, the third paragraph at the center there, page number 9. Now, the second false refuge is a desirous divine beings. Divine beings, that mean 天人, those God, whatever. Because they have a desire. And according to Buddhism, it's 3 realms, consists of 28 heavens in Buddhism. Right? 28 heavens. Okay? They got the first, in Buddhism, talk about 3 realms. This one you have to, because dirty already, you must put the thing to thinner or whatever to clean it. That's why they cannot wipe off, cannot erase. Okay, the first one is the realm of desire. Chinese called 意界, the realm of desire. The realm. Other EALM. The second one, the realm of form. FORM. 色界 in Chinese. And the third, the realm of formlessness. Wu Se Jie. And these 3 realms consist of 28 heavens. The first realm consists of 6 heavens. The third one consists of 4 heavens. 10 already, I make up 10 already, right? So the second realm consists of 18 heaven. So altogether, 28. Do go and buy 4D, 6184. Do go and buy it. Okay, 6 heavens, 18 heavens, 4 heavens. So they add up 28 heaven. So according to Buddhism, Jesus, God, Jesus, they fall in the realm of the second one, in the form, and the first jhana, it means these 6 fall on the 7. According to Buddhism, he said this 7 God, in terms of character or whatever character, is quite similar to Jesus. They say similar, don't tell you 100%, but it's almost the same. And Jade Emperor God, 一王大帝, 天公, Jade Emperor God. Jade Emperor, 天公, also one of them. So, as a Buddhist, if you take refuge in the Triple Gems and you cultivate Dharma, and actually you don't need to take refuge in the God or whatever, to follow them, because they are considered imperfect in Buddhism, because they just within the one level of the heaven. And Buddhism talk about 6 cycle, go beyond the 6 cycle, transcend, right? Surpass from them, go beyond. Of course, we don't criticize them, don't scold them. We still pay respect, but just like you don't need to kneel down, don't need to do that. Not necessarily, because you are Buddhist. Okay, and people say when monk or nuns walk over, the medium cannot 跳不出来. You say because I don't know whether I don't think so. You say because monk and nuns, they are sangha, they are higher, so those God, they are not to come or whatever. Who know? I don't believe in that. He say when monks or whatever walk over, it 跳不开, medium cannot come, the gods cannot approach the body. I don't know how true is that. I don't know. But when I go over, walk past, they still jump a monkey god. So I don't know. Now, page 9. Okay? So all those heaven, for instance, I tell you in the 3 realms, 1, 2, 3, 4, on the 5th line, you see in the 3 realms, there are 6 levels of divine beings, I told you already. So all those are written sometimes in Sanskrit, so you just refer to it, no? Refer to yourself. Okay, next paragraph. So it says among them, the king of Tushita. You know this smiling Buddha, Tushita, is actually, Mila Pusa, Bodhisattva, actually now at the moment stay in the Tushita heaven. So Tushita heaven is very near to this earth. Very near. So according to Maya Buddhism, if you don't want to go to Pure Land, Pure Land? 净土阿弥陀佛. That is quite far from here. You say, no. Just like you say, Buddhist lodge, from Jurong all the way to Buddhist lodge. No, I don't want to study. You say, I stay in River Valley. Yes, walking distance, I come. Or stay nearby only. People like to do that. Nearer, right? Shorter distance, right? But if you want to choose, don't go to Pure Land, that one is quite far, then you may want to choose this Tushita Heaven, 道帅天. And this is one of the Pure Land. And it's very near to our earth, our world, this world. Okay? So according to Shakyamuni Buddha, he already predicts, after certain long times, the next Buddha, they call future Buddha or future Buddha, is this big stomach one, smiling face, we call Mila Pusa, Tushita. Alright? Maitreya Bodhisattva. His name called Maitreya. Maitreya in Sanskrit. Just like you go to Buddhist lodge, the downstairs, the main hall, main shrine hall there, you will see the facing to the road one, Mila for smiling Buddha, fat one, and with the smiling face, right? They have a meaning behind, why the smiling face and smile to every people, not like like owe you $1 million like that, motionless, talking to you don't know my humor, do enjoy the joke, so. Two-way, If you don't enjoy joke, then I don't tell you joke already. Because you look at very stern like that, motionless. Don't freak your eye. Cannot see your mouth. Of course, cannot see your mouth because with the mask. Motionless, motionless. Okay, can you turn to page number 10? The rest read up by yourself. Page number 10. Okay, the third, false refuge. The second paragraph. The third one. The third false refuge is the one and the only Brahma. Just like I told you Brahma, right? And this is a high-class God. Very high-class one. Just like Jesus, Allah, only one God. Almighty God. They say Almighty God. And God is a creator. So for me, I want to know how is the teaching and how they propagate, give their sermon, the pastor and priest. So when I was in England, I went to church a couple of times. I told you already, I went to the church. I see how they give talk, give a sermon in Testament. My friend, we stay in the dormitory in the university. I got a friend, he done his MA from Germany. And we are all friends. I say, I'm going back to Germany, so I want to give you a gift, but I don't know what to give because you're a Buddhist monk. So can I give you Testament? I said, can, no problem. So eventually he gave me the New Testament. Very small one, very handy, you can put inside the pocket one. I still put in my bookshelf, Although I'm a monk, I got New Testament. Mine is a New Testament. They got Old and New Testament, right? So it's very interesting because you go to the church and you see how they give their sermon, how they organize the talk, As I told you, because they are very cooperative one. And this one we should learn from them. Of course, not their teaching, but this one we should learn from them. How they are very popular, they can attract a lot of youngsters, just like City Harvest Church or whatever, Because Buddhism give people a kind of concept, burn incense paper, doing chanting, just worshipping. You go to Waterloo Street, Xibei Law down, And Xibei Law is the one is not Buddhism. That one is Tian Dao, Tao, Yiguan Dao, They call it Dao, D-A-O, or T-O. 那是一贯道 in Chinese 是一贯道 It's not Buddhism. Although they worship to Guan Yin Bodhisattva, but they do have monkey god. So strictly speaking, they are not Buddhism. But a lot of people go there. Even more youngsters go there, You'll be surprised, a lot of youngsters go there, Just that they cannot find a husband, they go there. Guan Yin, I need a husband, give me one husband. Handsome guy. Or give me one wife, I need a wife. Something like that. A lot of youngsters go there. And people driving Mercedes, businessmen all go there. So it's very popular and very long history, Right? Waterloo Street, right? Okay, back to the textbook. So, the only Brahma above the realm of desire is the realm of form. So this is another second category, right? 色界. Okay? So this is slightly higher. So you say Brahma. Brahma. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the fifth line. So the multitudes of the Brahma, are like the people, the minister of Brahma, are like the government officer. And the Brahma is the only king, are like the government officer. The only king. So the word Brahma, right, means clean. 梵天梵 means 很清净的 Chinese, clean, very clean. Okay, and pure. So which is similar in the meaning of, talk about holy. You see, we say holy God, right? So that means, they will try to claim that their God is clean and pure. Okay, called Brahma. Now this Brahma has neither sex desire nor worldly materials desire. So this is different from in the realm of desire. In the realm of desire, they do have the desire, no? You see, those kind of God, son, sometimes they got family one, whole family one. So 他们有老婆, husband and wife one, in the realm of desire, because they got desire. So in the realm of form, it's go beyond desire already. So just like this one Brahma, they don't have a so-called like, the kind of sex desire or whatever. So they go beyond that already. Okay? Now, so after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the sixth side there. So because Brahma, mind, was filled of arrogance, they are very arrogant. Alright? Just like those gods, because they thought they are creators, so very arrogant, Auman. So you must listen to them, something like that. But according to Buddhism, arrogance is considered one of the obstacles, considered affliction, We must try to avoid it, In Buddhism, talking about no self, selfless, correct or not? So, now, filled with arrogance, and he advertently formed the conceited and erroneous idea that, he had created the world because he claimed that he's a creator. Right? And that the people have come from him. So after he had lived for a long time, so 1.5 kappa. Now this kappas, Chinese called jie, kappas. This is a time measuring unit in ancient India. Right? Kappa, jie. Chinese called jie, gyap. It means it's a measuring time. Now the measuring time we use the unit is second, minutes, hours, correct now. But this is, they call kappa. It's such a long period. Like our Shakyamuni Bodhi Buddha, our Shakyamuni Buddha, right? He had gone through the 3 great kappas, Santa Ajahn Zhijie, right? Shakyamuni Buddha, right? 3 great kappas. 3. Such a long time. Next time you know what is the meaning of 3 great kappas. So you must be patient enough. When you study the last chapter, that will be next year when you and me still around. Okay? 3 great kappas. So you want to become Buddha? Not easy. But we can achieve it. Right? This is our target. This is our final goal. Right? Okay, so this is called Brahma, and you see the next paragraph, it says above Brahma are the second, third, and fourth dhyana. So basically these are the so-called like the different, different level in the realms, different in the heaven. They consist of, for instance, in the realm of form, it consists of 4 dhyana, 四禅天, 4 dhyana. So a bit complicated, so I better stop here first. Next time I'll tell you more. So according to Abhidhamma Kosa, in Buddhism, Abhidhamma Kosa, now they were illustrated for everything in detail, for instance, but this cannot erase. Next time I show it, because this one very difficult to erase. So, they branch out into two subgroups from there for each dhyana. Okay? So this dhyana is in Sanskrit, Pali called, dana, prashna. Dhyana is this one. Sanskrit called jhana. Okay, this is in Sanskrit, jhana, this is in Sanskrit, this one in Pali. Okay? So there's 4 dhyana, 4 different groups in the realm of form. Okay, in the realm of form. Okay, so now can you see the last paragraph there? It says above Brahma are the second, third, and fourth dhyana heavens and the realm of formlessness. Okay? So after 1, 2, 3, 4, another 3 or 4 lines there on the right hand side. Now common religions do not go beyond the scope of ghosts and spirit. And the gods, and the polytheism and monotheism, Alright? So none of these beings can save themselves or have affliction and are not yet liberated from birth and death. What does it mean? Because they are still fall in the sixth cycle, in the cycle of birth and death. So even you go to worship to the God, they also cannot protect themselves because they still have to come back to this world or even go to the hell when there's a marriage no more already, right? So they are still considered imperfect. So what for you want to learn from them? We should learn from Buddhism. We should learn from the triple gems, Sambao, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Why not? This is our ultimate goal. But of course, we don't learn from them, but we respect them. Because some are considered as Dharma Protectors, right? To protect Buddhism. And these are considered, gods in Buddhism, they divide into two groups, whether good or bad, in Buddhism. God. Okay, whether good or bad. When good, we are talking in terms of Dharma Protectors, who fasten. They protect Buddhism, they protect Buddhists, they won't harm us. So this is called good. Bad, you go to Thailand, even they ask those kind of Thai monks in the cave or mountain, then they chanting go Gong Tao, Gong Tao Hokkien one, they do some chanting or whatever, then to have some spiritual power and do something funny for you or help you to do the bad things, or you ask him to do something to harm this person and then he can do for you. And even some they ask people to pray to the 那个什么鬼啊，那个 small god or whatever, the kind of ghosts in the box one, and they do some chanting, very funny one, very evil one, and that will harm people one. And you say, they are Thai monks, but they do the wrong things. Monks are so what? You see, that's why in Buddhism, in Thailand, those Thai monks, some people can smoke everything one, Some even got taboo everything, Some even got tiger, tiger forest, the newspaper came out. So, I don't want to comment so much. So it's very complicated because the quality of those monks, some are bogus one. It's not a real monk, So the quality are not there. The quantity is there. You can see the whole group. Early in the morning they go queue for alms begging, that kind of things or whatever. But in Singapore they cannot do that. If you queue on the road, police come already. You never apply the permit. Singapore is not a Buddhist country, but I can do it in Thailand, can do it in Myanmar, whatever. It's a different culture, right? Okay, so back to the textbook. Now, so therefore, neither they are, are they the place of refuge? So they are not the place of refuge. They are very arrogant, they are considered imperfect because they are still in the cycle of birth and death. Right? So in comparison, until now, when you're talking about pleasure seeking in the mundane world, as we know, prosper in the society or whatever in the country are still unsafe. This one also no good, considered imperfect. So what is the true answer now? So the answer will be Buddhism. So now can you see the page 11? Can you see the subtitle there? Real refuge, the three treasures. 真正的皈依就是三宝 in Chinese. Three treasures. As I told you already, Chinese only two characters, 三宝. But English very funny. English with a different expression one. Okay? Three treasures or triple gems. Okay? So both can be done. Sometimes when you see the textbook, some is written in triple gems, some they put three treasures, but both are imply the same meaning. Right? Can you see the verse number 4? Shall we read that together? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's a term here called 10 direction, 十方. So this is a Buddhist terminology. Sometimes you may encounter when you read the sutra or textbook or whatever, so you may see the terms here, 10 direction. So this 10 direction, we are talking in terms of space. In terms of space, right? 空间, in terms of space. So when you talk about past, present, future, 过去, 现在, 未来, just how we started at 10, this is already passed away. At the moment, 11:25, we got 5 more minutes to go. And future is our target, 11:30, then you dismiss the class. Right? So this is talking in terms of times. But this 10 direction is talking in terms of space. 十方 10 direction. For instance, you see here, the 10 directions are the 8 points of the compass. And you know, right? North, south, east, west. These are the 4 major ones. You know, and northeast. Where's the northeast of Singapore? Tampines, Punggol, I don't know. All right. Northwest. Okay. Northeast, northwest, southeast. Right. Southwest. Then 2, 4, 8. Then plus 2. Up and down. For instance, the direction of up and down. In which different manifestation of Buddhist or Buddha exists. So in other words, Buddha exists everywhere, all direction. So 我们讲十方佛 when you do chanting, right, you will name 十方菩萨, 十方佛. It means all the Buddha. So this 十方 means all the Buddhas. Of course, you use all the Buddhas, but means 10 direction. Okay. Now I said people seeking refuge everywhere, just like looking to so many temples, temple B, temple C, temple A, or go to the church, go to whatever, everywhere. Just like go Singapore everywhere before you come to Buddhist lodge. Right? Before you come to Buddhist lodge. And eventually you come here, you find that, wow, these are the place, my ideal place, because I can learn the chanting from here. At the same time, I can learn the Dharma from here. You see, my time I came here is to learn chanting. Last time is more focused on chanting. So now you're all very lucky. Different generation, condition arise. You come here, you can learn chanting, right? And at the same time, you can learn the Buddha's teaching. And in the comfort zone, with aircon. When you look at this auditorium, so nice. You see all this? Very nice. I find it's very nice after renovated. All right? So, you know, you should treasure it, right? These are the places so we can learn something, for instance. So, here it says, people seeking refuge everywhere. Seeking refuge in all the 10 directions. It means everywhere, all the 10 directions. You know, east, west, south, north, everything. You will miss one corner, everywhere. So finally realize that the ultimate place of refuge, eventually you know that, I go Geelong, I go Puto, I go Punggol, Woodland, I go to Shenton Way, I go to whatever. Eventually I find that, for instance, they say, Buddhist lodge, that's a place suit me. I find more comfortable or whatever, for instance. Right? So, finally realize that ultimate place of refuge is to be found in the most auspicious treasure. So, we talk about those mundane things, mundane in the mundane world, all things in the mundane world, they are not the place of seeking refuge. We talk about the Brahma, the God, only God or whatever creator, also not the place of seeking refuge because they are arrogant and so on and so forth, right? And eventually you found it. These are more auspicious, 吉祥 in Chinese. These are more better, the way I can learn. Right? It's Buddhism, 3 treasure, 三宝. Okay, so this is actually the, according to the verse, going to tell us. Can you turn to page 12? The rest read out by yourself. Okay, so now we start to praise the Buddha. Now we know the 三宝 already. You see, according to author, one by one. So now we don't talk about those Brahma already, no more already. So now we focus on 3 treasures, Triple and 三宝. Number 1, Buddha. You know the Buddha, right? Enlightened one, awakened one, perfected one. My first lecture I told you already, right? So the first one, praise the virtue of the Buddha. Means 赞叹佛宝 in Chinese, right? So they call praise for the virtues of the Buddha. Can you see the verse number 5? Shall we read together? 1, 2, 3. Of course, when the author is trying to convince us, according to this textbook, why we praise the virtue of the Buddha. It's just like you praise to the Lord or the God. Just like I went to the church. You know, throughout the 1.5 hour church, I went to church in England. Singapore, I cannot go. Singapore, if I go, they kick me out. They say, no, you go to the wrong place. You're supposed to go to Buddhist temple. Why you come here? That's why I thought, I conducted the class in NUS. And, they have beside Christian Fellowship, they have a Buddhist society in NUS, even in NTU. And I asked the students, I said, City Harvest Church near the NUS, outside the campus, I say, can I go there? People, I heard a lot of youngsters, I just want to go there to have a look. He says, Venerable, cannot go there, you cannot, definitely cannot, because you're a monk. Then I say, I heard, somebody told me, say, in the City Harvest Church, I heard only, I don't know how true. He said, in the toilet, it's a 5-class toilet. He said, the water tap is made by gold one. I don't know how true is that, So I said, I just out of curiosity, I said, can I go there and take a look? He said, no, you cannot go. Now, but that's not happen in the West, because in the West they're very open one. Just like in England, I went, and they accept. I go to the church, I saw the pastor, that one is from Siglap, Singaporean, Then he saw me, he said, you're also from Singapore. He said, why you come here? I said, come here to study. Are you sure there's a PhD program in Bristol University? I said, yes. Then he got shocked. Then I asked him, say, which church in Singapore? He dared not to tell me. I said, He's scared I go back, come back to Singapore, I'm going to look for him. But I know he told me that in Siglap. And you know the pastor, they're very having, because they've gone through a Bible college. You see the way they talk, I tell you, really admire them. You see those pastors, they talk, they look very confident, and they can capture your attention, and they speak very loud, not like me with a microphone, they're loud and clear, not like I see, like half day. They're loud and clear, they can capture your attention, And but you see, throughout the 1.5 hour talk, the Bible lesson, the other way around, we just use 10 minutes for chanting. To them, 1 hour sing song, holy song. God, they say God, they raise their hand. Half an hour talk only. Half an hour only. You see, so I go there and see how they conduct the kind of, give a sermon, and how they organize, and how they talk about the Bible. So it's very interesting to me. It's okay. But they want me to baptize. How can I baptize? I'm a Buddhist monk. So the British girl keep on staring at me and say, why you do say, the other girl raised up their hand from South Africa, say, I worship the God, I want to become Christian. But how can I become Christian? That's impossible, right? So my friends, she look at me, I say, I don't care. But I gave £1, because they pass the bet, right? Donation. They pass the bet, You see, they're very smart, they pass the bet. You cannot miss one, one by one pass, Just my friend passed to me, And they stare at me, waiting for me, So waiting for me to put the money They know I'm very kiamxiao one. I don't say kiamxiao. I check my pocket. I don't want to give one. I got £5, but I give £1 just as Singapore 10 cents. I say, I got £1. I just put £1. They do get £1 better than nothing. That means I come for a talk, not free one. I still give you £1. So they pass the bet. In Buddhism, different practice. There's a box also very big, donation box. But sometimes you can pretend to see one. Hi, how are you? So this one you can pretend, but that one how can you pretend? They pass to you, you can they pass to the other one. You know that you don't donate money, correct? So very obvious one, but this one you can pretend, Buddhism, You see the Jing Tang在那边, hello Jing Tang, how are you? Then you quickly avoid the donation box, so go there already. Donation box 冇看到咧. You see, so you can pretend. Okay, so this verse is to talk about the praise the virtue of the Buddha. But how to praise the virtue of the Buddha? Sorry, due to time constraint, 11:30 already. So time's fly. So today we better stop here. So the next lesson, I think should be able to go back to 7th floor. But I told the main organizer, 7th floor we can accumulate probably 100. We are more than 100 students, So I see how they organize. If here not going to be used, so here probably can see the video or by audio one. Better than stay at home and e-learning. Sometimes I do feel like learning. Sometimes also very lazy, right? You pretend learn halfway through, handphone or iPhone or YouTube, So you have a distraction, a lot of distraction. Okay? So anything want to ask me? Anything want to ask me? If not, okay, please hold the palm and follow me. Shall we do the dedication? So just to remind you first, our next lesson will be 18th of April. Just once in every 2 weeks. You just remember like that. Once every 2 weeks. Okay, may all the merits thus accumulated be dedicated to all sentient beings. May all sentient beings and I together attain Buddhahood. Okay, please stand up. Please hold the palm and follow me. 1 bound to the Buddha. 1 bound. Okay, see you on 18 April. Oh, donate 1 pound to the Buddha, huh? 1 pound to the Buddha. Okay, go for lunch. Anything want to make announcement, Jing Tang? Anything want to tell them? Okay, 好。
Yeah, can be for the benefit of the other students also can. So I answer it next lesson. Yeah, can. Because this is one thing that is troubling me also. Because I read that because it's like 生老病死是苦的嘛 then when you bring children into the world, are you bringing them into suffering? And all the more now the younger generation, they don't want to have kids because they also think that it's bringing children into suffering. So it's like quite true to Buddhism also, because they say once you are born, you are bound to suffer, right? You suffer from 贪嗔痴.
Great hatred.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll answer this one.
Yeah, thank you.
Not really lah, but I knew about answer to the
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, take care. Go help. Let me talk for. Okay. You're alone now. Your friend. Oh. Okay. How are you? 好嘛。Oh, you study for 2 places ah? Okay. Meditation. No, just now when doing chanting, it's actually the focus on Buddha, mainly it's called meditation. But anyway, when next time talk about concentration, tell you a little bit. Okay, go help. Hey, go help. Yes, brother? This one I haven't teach you yet. The honor one in this refer to two perfection is refer in the text. Two perfection refer to the good fortune.